Hello everyone, welcome to you all. So today in this video session I'm going to discuss about what is Scrum. So in my last video I have discussed something about Agile model. Okay, so that is something related, so we can talk it about like what is Scrum in Agile. Okay, so if you not still see my last Agile model video, so I will request you to please see the last Agile model video and then come to this video so you can get and better understand. Okay, otherwise I will give that Agile model videos link in that Scrum videos description so you can check it from here. Okay, so now coming to our today's main topic, main discussions, that is what is Scrum. Okay, so Scrum is a framework of rules, roles, events, and artifacts used to implement agile project. Okay, so Scrum is a framework. Scrum is a framework of what? Rules, roles, then we can say like events and like artifacts. Artifacts. For what? Used, artifact used to implement agile projects. Agile projects. Okay. So Scrum is a artifacts. Okay. So Scrum is a framework of rules, roles, events, and artifacts used to implement agile projects. So that is called Scrum. Scrum in Agile. Okay. So basically it is a actually basically the Agile is a basically the Scrum is a iterative approach. So Scrum is a iterative approach which consisting of sprint that typically only last 1 or 4 weeks. So the approach ensures that your team delivers a versions of the product regularly. Now in details I will discuss everything in this video. Okay, what is do you by regular basis like that? So everything is there, so no problem. So now Scrum is a framework of rules, roles, events, and artifacts used to implement agile projects. Okay, so it is an iterative approach consisting of sprint that typically only last 1 to 4 weeks. So this approach ensures that your team delivers a versions of the product regularly. Okay, so we can say like that Scrum was designed using a software model that follows a set of rules, responsibilities, and meetings. So that can be used for any complex project, but works best when the result is a concrete product rather than a service. That is nothing but called as a Scrum in Agile. Okay, so be more easy word if we something like called more easy word. So Scrum talk about the rules to be followed while following your agile methodology to develop any new software. So Scrum talks about the rules to be followed while following agile methodology to develop any new software. That is nothing but called as a Scrum. Okay, so now so the definition Scrum is clear. Now coming to the next one is that we can say like uh, some process, some Scrum process we have to maintain. So some processes are there which we have to maintain in the Scrum. What are those? Few things are there, like first one is that I can write you here. First one is that product backlog. Product backlog. So what do you mean by product backlog? So product backlog, basically it is prepared by our product manager or product owner. So product backlog is prepared by our product manager or product owner. So it is the duty of our product manager to create the backlog. So who will create the backlog? The product manager or product owner will create the backlog. So product backlog means what are the things we want to make in order to give the software to the customer. Product backlog means what are the things we want to make in order to give the software to the customer. That is called product backlog. Okay. So product backlog is prepared by our product manager or product owner. So it is the duty of our product manager to create the backlog. So product backlog means what are the things we want to make in order to give the software to the customer. That is called product backlog. Clear? Now coming to the next one is that the second thing is that sprint. Sprint. So in that definition section, I have already talked about that some sprint we have to follow. Okay. So now coming to the next one is a sprint. So basically, sprint is a set time frame for completing each set of tasks from the backlog. So what is sprint? So sprint is a set time frame. So sprint is a set time frame for completing each set of tasks from the backlog. Okay. So every sprint should be the same length. Okay. Suppose the typical sprint length is 2 weeks. So it is, I mean, it is company dependable things like some company they are following 1 week, some company they are follow 2 weeks, some company they follow 3 weeks, or maybe some company they follow 4 weeks. But the typical sprint time is 2 weeks, means 14 days. Okay. So the typical time for any sprint is 2 weeks. Okay. But a sprint can be anywhere between 1 to 4 weeks long. As I've already told you, it's company dependent thing. Some company they are used 1 week, some company they are used 2 weeks. So it's basically company dependent rule. Okay. So, so what do you mean by sprint? So a sprint is a set time frame for completing each set of tasks from the backlog. Okay. Now I am giving you one more basic example. Suppose there is a project in our company and the project it will take 1 year to complete the project. Okay. So the time frame for the completion of the project is 1 year. So that means we are not following something like this. So client has given some requirement to our company, then it will, and we verify all the things and we decide that it will take 1 year to complete. So we are not telling our company, we are not telling our customer like, okay, you have given all the requirements, we have done with your requirements. Now go back and came after 1 year, then I will give you all the software to you. That something like this is not happening in that agile process. So here we have to divide all the things by sprint wise. Means I have already told you sprint means 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is the boundary. It is the boundary of 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks we will work something. We will work some module on that total project, and we will submit to that project, or we will release that piece of software to our customers after every 2 weeks. So that is the sprint logic. Okay. If our company follow 2 weeks as a sprint, then every time we have to follow. So in between 1 year, every time we have to follow that boundation. So every sprint will be 2 weeks. So we cannot change it. First, if we fix that sprint time length, then that should be fixed after, I mean, in between 1 year. So until the project is completed, that sprint time will be fixed. Okay. So every sprint should be the same length. That is called as a sprint. So 2 weeks equals to 1 sprint. 2 weeks equals to 1 sprint, or we can say like that, 1 sprint equals to 2 weeks. So that is the, we can say that typical, that is a typical time length. So that is a standard time length, we can say also. Weeks is a standard time. So now you guys are very much clear about that, what is sprint. Now coming to the next one is that is sprint planning. Sprint planning. So what do you mean by sprint planning? So sprint planning is a meeting conducted by my Scrum Master or my product owner or business analyst. So sprint planning is a meeting conducted by Scrum Master or my product manager or my product owner or business analyst, in which they will invited the people from development team, from the testing team, from the designing team, and they will having a meeting in which they will decide that what and all things we need to take from my product backlog. In sprint planning, we are going to discuss about that what tasks we will take from the product backlog. So who will conduct that sprint planning? Sprint planning will be conducted by the master or product owner or business analyst. Okay. So sprint planning means it is a meeting conducted by the master or product owner or business analyst, in which they will invite the people from the development team, from the testing team, from the designing team, and they will having a meeting in which they will decide that what and all things we need to take from my product backlog, and I have to work in this coming sprint. Okay, so we will take the item from the product backlog, and that we are going to discuss on the sprint planning. And whatever items we are taking from the product backlogs, that items we are going to work on the next sprint or in the coming sprint, we can say in the coming sprint. Okay, so some company are follow the sprint planning at the last day of sprint end, or some company are follow at the first day of sprint. So it is dependent by company. So sprint planning is a meeting conducted by the Scrum Master or product owner or business analyst, in which they will invite the people from our development team, from the testing team, from the designing team, and they will having a meeting in which they will decide that what and all things we need to take from my product backlog, and we have to work in this coming sprint. And that items, whatever items we are taking from the product backlog, that items we are gonna work in that coming sprint. Okay. And one important thing, that is, some companies are follow the sprint planning at the last day of the sprint end, or some companies are follow at the first day of sprint. That is nothing but called as a sprint planning. Now coming to the next topic or next process, that is called as a Scrum, that is Scrum Master. Scrum Master. So in my sprint planning definition, I told you that Scrum Master will be conducted. That sprint planning process. So what do you mean by Scrum Master? So Scrum Master is a person who is responsible for the deliveries of my software to my customer within a planned period of time. That is called Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is a person who is responsible for the deliveries of my software to my customer within a planned period of time. That is called as Scrum Master. Okay. So basically the Scrum Master is a, we can say the Scrum Master is responsible for arranging the daily meetings, improving the team interaction, and maximizing the productivity. Okay, so Scrum Master is a person who is responsible for the deliveries of my software to my customer within a planned period of time. And also the Scrum Master is responsible for arranging the daily meetings, improving the team interaction, and maximizing the productivity. Okay, so the Scrum Master is the person who will be responsible of the delivery of the software to the customer within a planned period of time. Or we can say he or she is a person who will be working in a project management tool, something project management tool like Jira. We all are heard about this term, that is Jira. Okay, so in Scrum Master will be working with this project management tool Jira, and he or she will be creating story, tasks, and will be tracking all the technical people works, that what they are working. So actually, basically the Scrum Master will track everyone. So suppose I am writing, I am doing any work on my current sprint, any item on the current sprint. So how much time it will take, and what is the progress on that item. So everything will be tracked by Scrum Master. So Scrum Master is a person who will be working in a project management tool that is called Jira, and he or she will be creating stories, tasks, and will be assigning to developer, tester, business analyst, and he will be tracking all the technical people works, that what they are working. That is the responsibility of the Scrum Master. So that is nothing but called as Scrum Master. Now coming to the next one is that, so one question may be arise in your mind like that, who will be the Scrum Master, or who can become a Scrum Master? Okay, so who can become Scrum Master? A product manager, business analyst, or senior test engineer, or the senior developers, they can become Scrum Master. Okay, now coming to the next one is, that is Scrum meeting. Scrum meeting. So what do you mean by Scrum meeting? So Scrum meeting is a meeting conducted by my Scrum Master. Scrum meeting is a meeting which is conducted by my Scrum Master. Okay, in, we can say like on daily basis. On daily basis. So Scrum meeting is a meeting which is conducted by my Scrum Master on daily basis, which is strictly bounded for 10 to 15 minutes. So Scrum meeting will be 10 to 15 minutes maximum, not more than that. Okay, so the Scrum meeting we can say, and it is also called as daily stand-up meeting. In Scrum meeting we can also call it a daily stand-up meeting, and the maximum time will be 10 to 15 minutes. We cannot raise on that. So the maximum boundary time is 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so Scrum meeting is a meeting conducted by my Scrum Master on daily basis, which is strictly bounded for 10 to 15 minutes only, and also it is called as daily stand-up meetings. So all the BA, all the developer, the test engineer, the product manager will be part of this meeting. Okay, will be part of this meeting. So all the developer, business analyst, test engineer, product manager, all are the product manager, whoever is there, so they will be the part of this Scrum meeting. Okay, so in the Scrum meeting, the Scrum Master may ask you three things. So in this meeting, we mainly discuss three things. So in Scrum meeting, we mainly discuss three things. Each and every member of the Scrum meeting, that the three things is like that. First one is that what you did yesterday. So Scrum meeting discuss will be based upon three things. what you did yesterday, what are you going to do today, and the last one is that when you are doing any work, is there any blocker or not? So three things are there that that we are going to discuss, or we will be discuss on the Scrum meeting. The three major things is that what you did yesterday, what are you going today, and when you are working or when you are doing any work, is there any blocker are there or not? So these three things are going will be discussed on that Scrum meeting. Clear? Now next one is that sprint retrospective meeting. Sprint retrospective sprint retrospective meeting. So what do you mean by sprint retrospective meeting? So sprint retrospective meeting conducted by my Scrum Master. Also sprint retrospective meeting is conducted by my Scrum Master at the end of every sprint. Sprint retrospective meeting is conducted by my Scrum Master at the end of every sprint. So as a part of sprint retrospective meeting, the Scrum Master will ask each and every member of the team that what went well, what didn't went well, and what are the things we want to do good for the next sprint. Three things also in the sprint retrospective meetings. Three things are there that will ask your Scrum Master each and every member of the team that what went well. Second one is that what didn't went well. And third one is that what are the things we want to do good for the next sprint. That we are going to discuss on the sprint retrospective meeting. So what do you mean by sprint retrospective meeting? So it is a meeting conducted by my Scrum Master at the end of every sprint. So as a part of sprint retrospective meeting, Scrum Master will be asked each and every member of the team that three things. One is what went well, what didn't went well, and what are the things we want to do good for the next sprint. Now, the next one is that what are we are discussing on that Scrum, that is called bug triage meeting. Bug triage meeting. Also, it is a very important thing. So, what do you mean by bug triage meeting? So bug triage meeting is a meeting which is conducted by the test engineer or the product owner. Okay, so bug triage meeting is a meeting which is conducted by the test engineer or the product owner. So when this meeting will be organized? So few days before the release. So few days before the release, some meeting will be arranged by the test engineer or product owner, that is called bug triage meeting. So in this meeting, they will invite all the developers, all the test engineer, and they will have the list of all the open bugs or open defects that the test engineer have found out. So not only in this sprint, but also from the last sprint, which are not resolved. Okay, so like all the bugs which are in the open state, they will have the all bug list in their hand, and they will reprioritized it, and that I mean reprioritize mean something, suppose we have to priority, we have to give some priority, like we have to maintain the, we have to see the how the customer business flow will be work. Okay, so based on the customer business point of view, which bugs are critical, which bugs are major, which bugs are minor. Okay, so everything we have to discuss on the bug triage meeting. So Basically, they will prioritize it, and that which will be first, or which defects will be fixed in the later sprint. So everything we are going to discuss on the bug triage meeting. So what do you mean by bug triage meeting? So bug triage meeting is a meeting which is conducted by the test engineers or the product owner few days before the release. Okay, so in this meeting they will invite all the developers, all the test engineers, and they will have the list of all the open bugs that test engineer have found out. So not only in this sprint, but also from the last sprint, which are not resolved yet. So like all the bugs which are in the open state, they will have the all bug list in their hand, and they will reprioritize it, that which will be fixed first or which defects will be fixed in the later sprint. So based on the customer business point of view, which bugs are critical, which bugs are blocker, which bugs are major, which bugs are minor, everything we are going to discuss about that bug triage meeting. Okay. Now, next one is that stories. So what do you mean by stories? So stories are nothing but it is a feature or any module. Stories are nothing but it's a feature or any module that is called as stories. Okay. Now coming to the next one is that is epic. So what do you mean by epic? So as I have already told you that stories are nothing but a single feature or a single module, whereas epic is the collection of stories. So epic is the collection of stories. What do you mean by epic? Epic is the collection of stories. That means under epic, all my stories are present. So as epic is the collection of stories, so we can say like that, under epic, all my stories are present. So what do you mean by story? Story is a single feature or a single module. Okay, but epic, what is epic? Epic is a list of stories. Okay, now clear what do you mean by epic? Now next one is that, what do you mean by story point? What do you mean by story point? So story point is nothing but it's a rough approximation or rough estimation given by the developer and the test engineer. Suppose there is a point that it will take 2 hours to complete. So I guess that I have put some estimate time that within 2 hours I can complete that task. So that is the story point estimation. So I am giving some estimate time on that particular point, that how much time it will take to complete. So it's a rough estimate time. So story point is a rough story point is a rough estimation given by the developers and the test engineer to complete the any particular task. Okay. So as a Scrum Master, when I am, suppose I am a Scrum Master, so as a Scrum Master, when I am assigning any task to my developer or test engineer, so I will ask them that what would be the story point for that particular task. I suppose I am a Scrum Master. As I have to maintain everything, I have to track everyone work. So obviously I will take some story point. I will take some rough estimations from any one of the projects. Okay, so I will ask my developer and tester that what time it will take to complete that particular task. Okay, so maybe so as per my question, so my developer or tester, they will give the story point something like called 2 story point 1 or story point 2 or story point 3, something like that. Okay, so now what do you mean by story point 1, 2, 3? So it has a different standard. Some companies are used suppose some companies are used like one day one day equals to one story point. Okay, Or some companies are follow something like that. 1 hour is equals to 1 story point. 1 story point. So it is totally dependent on the company's point of view. Okay. So some company they may follow that 1 day equals to 1 story point. Some company may follow 1 hour equals to 1 story point. Some company also follow 4 hour equals to 1 story point. 4 hour equals to 1 story point. So we can say something like that: 4 hour equals to 1 story point. 4 hour equals to 1 story point. So as per our company's rule, so we can give the estimate to my Scrum Master. Suppose 1 point it will take to complete 4 hours. So as per my company policy, I will give the Scrum Master time that 1 story point. Okay. So as my company follow 1 hour equals to 1 story point, then as per my company policy, I can tell the approximate time to my Scrum Master that 1 hour equals to 1 story point. If any task will take 1 hour, so we can tell my Scrum Master that it will 1 story point. It will be 1 story point. Now you are guys clear that what is story point. So story point is a rough estimation given by the developer and test engineer to complete any particular task. So as a Scrum Master, when I am assigning any task to my developer or test engineer, then I will ask them what would be the story point for that particular task. So they will give the story point something like that: 1, 2 or 3. Okay, 1, 2 or 3. Each and every companies have their own standard for the story point. Some company may follow like 1 hour equals to 1 story point. Some company can follow 1 day equals to 1 story point. Some company may follow 4 hour equals to 1 story point. 4 hours equals to 1 story point. Okay. And one important thing that is that you guys can remember that thing. We always give some story point like some Fibonacci series. Okay, like some Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series, what do you mean by Fibonacci series? Like 0, 1, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 5, then 8, then 13, then 21, something like that. 0 plus 1 equals to 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2, 2 plus 1 equals to 3, 2 plus 3 equals to 5, 3 plus 5 equals to 8, like that. So that is the standard for story point. You guys can follow that also, no problem. But it's the important thing that I told you that story point, we can give some story point by using some standard point of view like Fibonacci series. Okay, so that is called story point. Okay, and one thing also is there, that is called swag. What do you mean by swag? So story point and swag both are something same. So story point is also for that approximate time for any particular task, and swag is also the same. It will be some rough estimations for completing any task by the developer and test engineer. So then what is the difference between story point and task? So story point can be 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, something like that. But swag is always depend upon hour. Swag is always depend upon hour. So swag come from come from of come from form of some forms of hour. Okay, swag come from hours. If we give any estimation based upon hour, then we can call it as a swag. Okay. So these are the important things on that Scrum framework. What do you mean by Scrum? Scrum is a framework of rules, roles, events, and artifacts used to implement any agile project. And also Scrum was designed using a software model that follows a set of roles, responsibility, and meetings. And also that Scrum can be used for any complex project, but works best when the result is concrete product rather than service. If we get better result for the Scrum if we used that Scrum process on any product. Okay, that is called Scrum, and that is the beauty of Scrum. We can say like that. That is the beauty of Scrum. Okay, and these are the important necessary things on that Scrum process. And also we have to know everything, that what is sprint product backlog, we have to sprint, what is planning, etc, etc, etc. I think this video will help you lot. If you like my video, one thumbs up. If you have any question, then you can comment me and share this channel to your friends. And one important thing, that please subscribe my channel EduPaat and clicking on the bell icon. See you in the next video. Thank you.